Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another deadline stream, the second last one of the season. It is game week 37. Today we'll be looking at my team, answering all your questions and potentially having a look at any early Manchester United team news on Marcus Rashford. It looks like Luke Shaw is fine and Luke Shaw has travelled. It just wasn't pictured getting on the bus, but it's happened before. It seems to be that he's able to get off the bus at the end but not get on it and no one notices him. So bit weird, but it's happened many times before. And yeah, he looks fine, but Marcus Rashford is a different one. We haven't had any reports that he's with the Manchester United squad. However, if he is ill, then and they weren't sure whether he was going to be able to play, then maybe we will. Maybe he would have travelled separately anyway. But before we get into my team, which is up on screen, before we get into all your questions as well, say hello in the chat. We're going to do a hot topic every week. Last week was what did you have for dinner last night. Today we're going to do, I was going to do what you're watching at the moment. Your favourite film, we'll go that way because we're doing watching on telly. It will be really hard and really confusing with people all around the world. But let me know your favourite film. I'm not a big film person, so any good recommendations, feel free to fire them my way. I mean, I don't really watch films, but if there's something that comes highly recommended, maybe I'll find time for it. But yeah, let me know where you are. Say hello in the chat and let me know your favourite film as well. Let's go for that this week. So, good morning to Jen. Good morning to David Uzo. Good morning to the members in the chat. Hello, hello. I hope you're all well. Jamie in as well. We've got Vasilis in early this morning as well. Net, Mix, Jammy Sod with Space Jam. June from Monkey. The thing is, I don't know what any of these are. Casino and Goodfellas from Steve. Avengers Endgame, I know that one. Interstellar, I've heard of it. Shutter Island. Empire Strikes Back. Good morning. Final Space. A few shouts for Interstellar. I feel like I've watched it. Isn't Interstellar the one with the astronauts? Terminator, good morning. Shawshank Redemption from FPL River. I've seen some of that. From Exeter, Pulp Fiction is a must-watch. Good morning from India. Pathic, Nobody is a great film. Snatch, Shawshank Redemption again. Red Notice, Saving Private Ryan. I've seen that. Terminator 2. I think I've seen some of them. Tom and Jerry, top shout. The Gentleman. The Ninth Gate with Johnny Depp. Lots of films that you will love that I've barely even heard of. So that is a reminder of how little I... Fight Club, I mean, I've heard of it, but Interstellar's the GOAT. Is Interstellar the one where he grows plants on Mars? Oh no, that's Interstellar. I think I've seen Interstellar. I think I've seen it a while ago. Anyway, let's have a look at my team and everything like that first. Let you know what I'm planning. I'm probably going to roll my transfer, to be honest, unless we get confirmation that Marcus Rashford hasn't travelled, in which case then I need to have a think about what I do with him. But he'd still have, because it's only illness, it's not, oh, that's the Martian. You're thinking of the Martian. Yes, I am. So, yeah, the thing is with Marcus Rashford, and we'll talk about whether we think he's going to play or not in a moment, but it is only illness, right? So if he doesn't play, he should be fine for Chelsea at home next Thursday, and he should be fine for Fulham at home on the final day. Now, a lot of people, when they're making transfers away from Marcus Rashford, are going to the likes of the Manchester City options. They're going to the likes of maybe Anthony at Manchester United is about the same price, which is crazy. Crazy that Anthony is the same price as Marcus Rashford this season. But anyway, it is what it is. So, yeah, you could go to a Manchester City option. The issue with that is do you expect the Manchester City mid that you're going to buy to start all of the last three anyway? And if he's not going to start all of the last three anyway, would you rather your Manchester City mid for 2 games, or would you rather Rashford for 2 games? Now, yes, you have the possibility that your Man City mid gets minutes in all 3 games, but I think it's fair to say that he's not going to start. He's not going to start all 3 games. Your Manchester City mid that you go with, whether it's Gundogan, whether it's Riyad Mahrez, who are probably the top 2 that I'd be buying at the moment. But yeah, I think we can be pretty certain that you can't reliably say that any of the Manchester City mids are going to start all of the next 3, which means you're basically getting the same amount of minutes out of Rashford as you are out of your Man City mids. Now, maybe you think the Manchester City mids are more explosive, but their games are not easy. Chelsea at home, yeah, okay, they might score a few against us. Brighton away, Brentford away in the final 2, though, is definitely not straightforward. So I think even if Rashford hasn't travelled, I think I'll probably end up keeping him for the rest of the season, particularly because we know the injury is fine and he's now missed out only through illness. So even if he misses out today, Chelsea at home and then Fulham at home on the final day, I do want him for. And if I take him out for a Manchester City midfielder, then I still think I'll be worried about what he can do on the final day. But that is true. If you don't own Marcus Rashford, I'd wait until close to the deadline. I will be checking my phone to see if there's any news or anything like that. But any news on anything. But yeah, if you're looking to buy Marcus Rashford, it might be that you don't want to this week. So I'd definitely go for Bruno Fernandes over Marcus Rashford at the moment, I think, just because of that uncertainty whether Rashford is going to start. Now, you can save your transfers right up until the deadline, and if we get news that Rashford's fine and Rashford's going to play, then yeah, you can make that transfer. But Rory says, Isaac to Alvarez, a good punt. Isaac to Alvarez is a punt I like, but again, it falls into the same category that if I don't think he's going to start if I only think Alvarez is going to start 2 of the last 3 games, which I think is probably the place for most Manchester City assets, if he's only going to start 2 of the last 3, and I think Isaac's going to start both of the last 2, then is Alvarez necessarily a better option? Now, you might get lucky, and the 2 out of the 3 that Alvarez starts are both in the double, and you might get lucky that way, and you might get lucky with Mahrez or Gundogan the same, and then they don't play on the last day of the season. But Alvarez has been playing the last couple, and actually the returns haven't been there. If you have Isaac, I think it's a bigger question than if you have Wilson. I think you have Wilson, you keep him. He's playing the 9, he's playing much better through the middle, and Isaac is pretty isolated out on that left-hand side, which is why for my team selection, I've made the switch from Trippier in and Isaac out in my starting 11. Isaac's dropped first sub, and I put Trippier in, who I think is going to be absolutely fine. Like, I wouldn't worry with Trippier. But even if Trippier's not okay, then Isaac can come in off the bench. But I'm pretty certain that Trippier's going to be okay, because their game's on Monday night. Am I right? Yeah, Monday evening. That's plenty of time for him to recover from this little knock that I think was actually time wasting. Because I think it was only 2-1 when Trippier went off. I think it was only 2-1 when Trippier went off. How many minutes did he... It's going to say he played 90 because it was after the 90th minute, yeah. But I think it was. Any updates on Ake? Start him or Isaac? We don't know anything on Ake. Again, I think the Manchester City defenders, I think you'll be lucky if they start both, because you've got to remember that the chances are that they've won the Premier League by their second game. Now, they might have won the Premier League by the time they kick off on Sunday, but if that's the case, it's still too short a turnaround from Saturday evening, when Arsenal would have to drop points to Nottingham Forest, to when they kick off on Sunday. I don't think that's enough time for Pep to change his plans and Pep to change the lineup. So I think we will get a full strength team against Chelsea, particularly it's their last home game as well. They win the title as well. It is just that midweek game. So, like, Ake, I can check what happened with what the update is on Ake, but I don't think we saw one. Pep wasn't asked about team news in his press conference. Ake was the only absentee for the midweek thrashing of Real Madrid. But not for the first time this season, Pep Guardiola wasn't asked a question about team news. So there was no update on Nathan Ake. There was no update on any of them. Why Trippier over Isaac? Because if Isaac's playing left wing again, I think I'm going to go with Trippier. It's quite a close one, but Trippier did remind us of the attacking threat that he's got again in that game on Thursday evening. Should you sell Isaac for Alvarez and upgrade Robertson to Arnold? You have 2 free transfers. It's probably worth it. Trent looks so good, and I think that will probably pay off. Best free hit team for those who are chasing. So I did post one on the Fantasy Football Scout YouTube channel. It was very differential because it didn't have Rashford in. It had it was full of doublers, right? It had Sterling in, for example. So I can do one in a moment. I haven't had that much time to think about it. Replacements for Kepa and Raya at 5.2. You already have 3 Brighton, 3 Newcastle and United, or just roll and start Raya. I'd probably roll and start Kepa this week. The reason I'd roll and start Kepa this week is Lampard said that he wanted to give Mendy a game, basically. He wanted to give Mendy a game, and he didn't do that great. And Mendy is, in theory, much better in the air, and he didn't do a very good job in the air, but Nottingham Forest are notoriously a big side. So I think that's part of the reason he came in, and I think it's not impossible that Kepa drops out again. It's not impossible that Kepa drops out again. My Wi-Fi is jumping up and down all over the place, but I think that this setting that makes you see the stream 15 seconds after I say it means that even if it lags a little bit, it has time to upload, basically. But anyway, currently you're going to use free hit in game week 38. Should I do Matoma and Wilson to Bruno and then Enciso or Alvarez from -4? I mean, that has the ability to really backfire, but I probably would do that, and I probably would go with Enciso. Thoughts on Matoma to Mahrez? A lot of people thinking of selling Matoma. A lot of people not sure he's going to start against Southampton. We didn't get anything in the press conference to suggest either way, to be honest. I think he probably will, but it wouldn't be a complete shock if he didn't. Matoma to Mahrez, I probably wouldn't do, personally. I don't think it's a transfer that you need to do this week. Rashford won't start versus Bournemouth. He will do well to just get on the bench. Will Rashford start? Well, we don't think we've seen him getting off the bus, and it's not part of the squad that we have seen as pictures, rather than there's not been an announced squad. Looks like Shaw is fine. There was some reports again that he wasn't pictured with the squad, but it looks like he was. So it is just Rashford, but I think Rashford's one of those ones that if you, as it says, Rashford's sick, unsure if he's travelled with the Manchester United squad, I'd still start him in game week 37. Worth using a transfer to replace Raya or Kepa, only if you can get to Steele or De Gea, to be honest. I'm not even sure Ederson's going to start both. I'd definitely go Steele and De Gea number 1, Steele number 2, in that order. I'm not even sure Ederson will start both, so I definitely wouldn't be buying Ederson this week. Solly March, well, he's injured, so I definitely wouldn't be buying him. Your triple captain is active. To be honest, your triple captain is Haaland if you're not chasing, and if you want to go crazy, it's probably Bruno Fernandes, because it would be Rashford, but we don't have enough information on him. So it's probably Haaland, and then if you really don't want to do Haaland, it's probably Fernandes. It's probably Fernandes out of the two. Mahrez or Bruno. Bruno, because Bruno will start all of the last 3. I can't see him not. Yeah, I can't see him not starting. Who am I targeting for the next 2 free transfers? Yeah, that's really a good question. We'll do that now. If you haven't already, please make sure you leave a like on the stream and you subscribe if you have not already. Is Bruno Fernandes essential this week? No, but I do think the haul for Bruno Fernandes is coming at some point. He has the data to assume it might. is Bruno worth a -4? Just again with the questions. Like, I don't know who you're selling to get Bruno. Chances are the transfer you're suggesting is probably yes. I do really like Bruno this week. I've had him since 29. Was that when they doubled? Yeah. He scored me 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 11, 2, 2, 6. Like, he's been rubbish for FPL returns, but his performances have been really, really good. So I don't think he's essential, but I wouldn't necessarily want to go into this week without him. So, transfer plans for the next couple. So the thing is, with the last day of the season, let me keep it on. There. The thing is with the last day of the season is we often get, because all the games kick off at the same time, we often get news on a few key lineups. So like Manchester City, we may well get the likes of potentially, like, who do we normally get? Liverpool, Manchester United, we might get news on. Chelsea, we might get news on. So it might depend on a few things, right? Because it might depend on if I have a goalkeeper starting. It's possible that I go into the last week of the season and neither Ederson or Kepa are going to start. And if that's the case, then I probably need to use one of my transfers. It will be 2 transfers, of course, next week on one of my goalkeepers, which is very dull for the last day of the season. However, let me get FPL.team up. It's probably easiest. So next week, at the moment, my team looks like you'll be on the bench. You'll be on the bench. Something like that. I mean, Isaac's currently in at the moment. You're chasing first place in your mini league. Difference 41 points. Oof. Which move would you do? March and Isaac to Mahrez and Enciso, or March, Isaac, Raya to Mahrez. The first one, you don't sell Rashford. So at the bottom you say keeping Rashford. I do the option that allows you to keep Rashford, to be honest. I do the option that allows you to keep Rashford. Maybe that's Rashford and Isaac to Mahrez and Enciso. I do the option that allows you to keep Rashford. But if you're 41 points behind, like, you might want to get rid of Rashford and just hope he doesn't play today. I'm boring and I play it safe, then I'd keep Rashford. But if you're 40 points behind, selling Rashford might be the way to go and just hope he doesn't play today and then hope he doesn't do anything in the final 2. But yeah, thank you for the super chat. I'd probably err on the side of caution and keep Rashford, but if you're adding an extra fixture on top of him and you don't think he's going to play Bournemouth, then if you're 41 points behind, then maybe you need to take that big gamble. Ake to Shaw for a total of -8. Yeah, I would do Ake to Shaw this week. Yeah. So, my team next week, if we know that I have a goalkeeper starting in either Kepa or Ederson, I'll just keep my goalkeeper, whoever it is who's going to start. I'd probably start Ederson over Kepa. It's pretty close between the two of them, though. I am looking at selling Isaac, and I am looking at going at Gabriel Jesus. I would like an Arsenal midfielder, but I don't really have room for them, and I don't have a way of upgrading. Like I could do McAllister to like Martinelli, or not Martinelli, Trossard. And then I would have I'd be money short, and I could downgrade Isaac, for example, to someone who's 6.4 or below, and I'd then free up a Brighton spot, and I mean, I could do a few things. I could go to Brennan Johnson if they still need something on the final day. I could go to Alvarez if he doesn't start the midweek, and I think he might start. Who do West Ham have? I mean, I don't think Danny Ings is going to start, but Leicester away. I mean, it's not impossible that I go Danny Ings because they might be resting Antonio. So it might be that I downgrade Isaac to someone cheaper and allows me to get a Arsenal midfielder. Basically, I'm planning on going for an Arsenal attacker in for the final day because my original plan was Gabriel Jesus in up here. God, 1,500 of you in here and only 100 likes on the stream. help the stream out. It really does help spread the word. Salah and Grealish to Bruno Mahrez for -4. Selling Salah, I wouldn't do. I really don't think selling Salah, because you want Salah on the final day. So I could just go and get Jesus, and then if I keep McAllister in here, I have to free up some money. Free up 0.7, and to do that, I mean, I could just sell Trippier, who's going to be on my bench anyway. I mean, I could just play Solanke. So there's quite a lot that can go in my team. It would leave me 4.8. It would leave me, come on. Right. So, I mean, I could go to the likes of... Who do Villa have? Villa have a difficult fixture on the final day. They have Brighton. I don't want to do that. Sort by expected points. So I could go to Ben... Oh, yeah, I mean, I could go to Ben White. Oh, no, he's 5. I can't. I don't want to go Dunk. I don't want to go Stanya. Like, I can't afford you. Like, I could go Cresswell, but Leicester will have something to fight for on the final day. I'm 0.1 short of going with Konate, but don't particularly want that. But, like, they're not going to start anyway, so I could just go to anyone and then just keep them on my bench. So, my plan, basically, is I want an Arsenal attacker for the final day. It's whether I want a midfielder and I sell McAllister, or I want a forward and I sell Isaac. And I basically then just need to free up money with the other transfer. Whoa, thank you for the super chats. Title race will be over. Don't go for Jesus. Yeah, but it's their final home game of the season. I do expect a strong performance from Arsenal at home to Wolves on the final day. The other thing is, if I'm not going to have a goalkeeper starting, I can just do Edison to Ramsdale to free up that money. And then go and get Gabriel Jesus in up front. So, and then I think I can just keep Trippier in here. Oh, maybe I can't. Maybe it's 5-5. Oh, it's... I think I'm buying back Trippier. That's annoying. Can I afford it? Hang on. Gameweek 38. So if I do Edison to Ramsdale, what money does it free up for me? 1.1. I think I can. I think I have exact money in the back. I think I've checked this. Yeah, 8-1. So I could just do that if I don't think he's going to start. But anyway, back to your questions. 10 points behind. Would I do Raya to De Gea and Grealish to Mahrez for a -4? Also Wilson or Trippier. So I'm starting Trippier over... Oh no, Wilson I'd start over Trippier. Would I do Raya to De Gea and Grealish to Mahrez for -4? Grealish to Mahrez is difficult. Raya to De Gea, definitely. Grealish to Mahrez is difficult. Mahrez has probably got the best chance of playing both. So I probably would if you are chasing, yes. Salah to Bruno or Trippier to Shaw, play Isaac or Wilson. I wouldn't do Salah to... I don't want to sell Salah. I just don't want to sell Salah. Like, Bruno could do really well this week, but I'm not going to recommend to anyone selling Salah. Trippier to Shaw, yes. Yeah, I would do that. And play Isaac or Wilson. Definitely Wilson. Grealish, Rashford, Wilson to Mahrez, Bruno, Alvarez. Wilson to Alvarez is a hit I don't think is worth it, but I imagine you need the money, so yes. If we wait towards the deadline and wait to see if we hear anything on Rashford. You're 28 points behind in your mini league. What do I do? Do I captain Rashford or Bruno and get Alvarez for Isaac? I captain Bruno. If you really are chasing and you don't want to captain Haaland, it's Bruno Fernandes, the only one that I would captain. A lot of you are saying you are chasing. And it impacts a lot of what I think you should do with your transfers. So interested to know, are you chasing? Because like for me, like Isaac to Alvarez is not a move I would do if you are holding, but it is a move I would do if you are chasing, if that makes sense. Because I think there's risk to it. Because I'm not certain Alvarez even gets 1 star. but he could do really well because it is a double. So it depends your situation with 2 weeks left about what transfers I would advise that you are making. Why aren't I starting Isaac? At the moment, I'm playing Trippier. It's Trippier versus Isaac. It's quite difficult. It's Trippier versus Isaac. I did consider benching Rashford. If we don't think Rashford's going to start today, Rashford at home to Chelsea or Isaac at home to Leicester, it's quite close. It's quite close. All the best at the end of the season. Thank you. I'm hoping to be honest, I can get live FPL up. And sadly, my season is... I feel like it's fading a little bit because... 23 points outside the top 100, and maybe I can make that up. If I get a green arrow this week and it's 15 points, then maybe I go crazy on the final day and try to get it, and maybe that's what I do. But I'm still only 20 points inside the top 1k, so if this week goes badly, I'll just have to play next week really boring just to make sure I finish inside the top 1k, because I am slipping a little bit towards it, and I just want to finish inside it, to be honest. So this week will decide how maverick I go on the final day. If I get a red arrow, poll options is not good. Oh well. So yeah, like this week will define what I do next week. If I get a green arrow, then I'll probably go pretty like out there on the final day and do some crazy things. But yeah. Anyway, let's do that free hit team for you. Stupidan's going to stay. Isaac's going to go. Solanke will go. Rashford will go. I'll take them out for now. Right. So my goalkeeper would be De Gea. And my back three would probably look like that. We then need more Manchester City, so Mahrez would definitely come in. To be honest, I'd probably punt Alvarez over De Bruyne now as my two forwards. That opens up. Maybe I go back to the likes of Matoma. But then you don't really want Matoma and McAllister if you're chasing. But like something like that, and then you fill in the gaps with cheap players. Gives you triple Brighton, it gives you triple Manchester United, it gives you no Chelsea, but I don't think anyone really wants Chelsea on their free hit. You could try and pump one of them, but you don't really have the money for it. So triple Brighton, triple Manchester United, triple Brighton, Manchester United, Man City, and then 2 Liverpool in Salah and Trent. It is quite template though, is the only thing. So if you are chasing, you could drop McAllister and you could go with Enciso. Or Matoma and go with Enciso and play a front three. That's something you could easily use to differentiate yourself. The triple Man City easily differentiates yourself over going with no Rashford. Like a Stupinan, Shaw, Trent, I just don't feel like I'd want to back against it on a free hit. And double Manchester United defence, I feel like is a good way to target a little bit of... a little bit of upside. Sorry, I missed a couple of super chats. Let me... same team as you and 2 free transfers. You need to make 1 transfer. You're 5 points off first in my mini league. So if I had a transfer and I had to make, what would I do? I mean, it's difficult. I would potentially use it as a transfer to get money out of my team for next week. It might sound ridiculous, but... like, whichever of Trippier, Isaac I wasn't playing, I might just downgrade one of them to the cheapest option there is, so that next week I've got extra money to go and play around in my team. The other thing you might want to do is sell Kepa and, like, go Kepa to Ramsdale or something like that, if I had a transfer in my team. Sorry, let me move this out of the way. Which option would I go for? 6 million in the bank. Can I? Hang on. There we go. Sorry. Which option would I go for? 6 million in the bank. Gameweek 37, Greenwood to Alvarez. Start Grealish and bench Isaac. No money for Grealish to Salah in Gameweek 38. or Isaac to Alvarez. Yeah, I do Isaac to Alvarez. You want Salah in 38. I wouldn't want to go into 38 without him. Gakpo to Fernandes, Dalot to Shaw, Isaac to Enciso for -12. You're chasing. All transfers, I think they'll probably pay off. So yes, I probably would do them. It's a -12, but I think they'll pay off between now and the end of the season. Thank you all very much for the super chats, by the way. Greatly appreciated. Thank you all very much for supporting the stream. Let me get up back what I need to. So, a few rapid fire questions. Grealish for Bruno or Mahrez? If you could do Grealish to Bruno, I would. If you're chasing captaincy and you have Kane, Mahrez or Jesus, like it's Mahrez because he has the double. But the issue with Mahrez... Oh, yeah, my poll is not very easy to answer. You all are all right. The issue with Mahrez is, and the issue with captaining, like people have seen it when they've captained De Bruyne. Like, if you're captaining Mahrez, are you expecting Mahrez to outscore? Haaland when they're on the pitch together? Like, that doesn't really happen, because when Haaland is on the pitch, he just sort of absorbs all the points. So that's why I don't really love Manchester City differential captains, because to be honest, for them to outscore Haaland, I think you need Haaland to be on the bench. Right. Hopefully that poll is better. Hopefully that poll is better. Is Rashford to Fernandes... to be fair, the poll, I think most people got it that yes was chasing, but some of you were definitely confused. Watkins and Rashford to Alvarez and Bruno. Watkins and Rashford to Alvarez and Bruno for -4. Yeah, I would... Yes, again, wait till the deadline in case we hear anything on Rashford. Morning Sponge, how are we doing? Start Alvarez, Grealish or Rashford? Probably Alvarez. Trippier to Trent? Yes. Trippier to Trent, I probably would do. You're doing differential City captain for one reason alone. But that must be because you think Haaland's... Because when Haaland starts, he's the best City asset, and I don't think anyone will outscore him. You already have 3 United players and 1 transfer. Is Trippier to Shaw and Rashford to Mahrez for -4? Or just Matoma to McAllister? I wouldn't do Matoma to McAllister. Could you not just do Trippier to Shaw? I just do Trippier to Shaw, to be honest. I think that's got the best upside for you. Sell Solanke for Undav as a super differential and a -4. I wouldn't. I definitely wouldn't. I'd rather Enciso because I don't know who's necessarily going to start up front for them. Play Robertson or Trippier. You don't have Trent. Is he essential? I'd probably play Trippier over Robertson. What about Martial? Martial's an interesting shout. I'm not certain he's going to start both. He's going to start all of the last 3. Like, Rashford might get one through the middle because I think Garnacho will play a game between now and the end of the season. And the only way that really happens is if Rashford goes up front, unless he drops Antony. But I don't really think that's going to happen. He loves Antony. And there's also Sancho as well. So I think Sancho might start one. I think Antony might start one. And I think Garnacho might start one. So for the only way for that to happen, unless they all play one game, which I don't think is going to happen, the only way I think that happens is if we see Rashford go up front. So that's why I'm not a big fan of him. A, Shah to Estupinan and bench Trippier. Shah to Estupinan and bench Trippier. Or B, Saka to Antony. Probably not the Antony route unless you're really chasing. Antony's he needs a double game week to be anywhere near as good as a lot of people are in a single, to be honest, as an FPL asset. So just not the Antony route, I don't think. Has Marcus Rashford posted anything on Instagram? No, he has not. I don't know if he normally does before matches if he's playing. Grealish start. I think you start your City assets. They'll probably get one start and maybe minutes off the bench. So, someone said, don't slurp your tea. Sorry. Chasing with 2 free transfers. Should you keep one for next week? The thing is with this week, it's difficult to take punts this week because a lot of the assets that you'd want to punt on are just from the teams that play twice, and basically a lot of us have got triple up from those teams anyway. So that's why it's difficult. It's easier to take punts next week, but it's then you've only got one fixture next week. Oh, hot damn, I just got a flash of inspiration. Might be about to take a -8 here. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. So 58% of you are chasing. 42% of you are holding. I'm in the holding group. How essential is Fernandes? Reasonably. I don't think I'd want to go into this week without him. Jack, thank you for the super chat. You didn't leave a comment, so just leave it in the chat. And I'll get back to you. Favourite Man City mid for the double? Mahrez, right? Yeah, Mahrez. But again, as I'll go back to, Mahrez I still don't think starts all 3 games between now and the end of the season. I still think he only starts 2. And if he's only going to start 2, Rashford is also going to start 2. So is it worth the transfer? You might get really lucky on Mahrez, but... So I love taking hits this late on in the season. So I get asked this a lot. What do you think about hits late on in the season? I personally don't like them. The reason for it is because it gives you less time for those hits to pay off. So it's Gameweek 37. For the hit to pay off, it needs to pay off in 2 weeks. Where if you take one in Gameweek, 25, and you keep that player for 8 weeks, it's got a much longer time for that -4 to pay off. Whereas you need instant returns. And maybe it's the little thing that pushes you over the edge in your mini league. You might get the extra 1 or 2 points, but the chance of it massively paying off is not that great when you have, when you take hits this close to the end of the season. So I would recommend, generally I'd recommend not taking hits between now and the end of the season because there will be hits at this point. Can Dallo start, bro, please? I don't think he'll start both, that's for sure. Wan-Bissaka's come out of nowhere into that team. I'm really surprised. Captain between Mahrez and McAllister. Would probably be on McAllister because I'm not certain Mahrez starts both, and I don't want to captain him when he only starts one. We have 1 hour and 14 minutes to go until the deadline. FPL Spun just got it. If you could hit that like button as well. Subscribe if you haven't already. We hit 56,000 subscribers yesterday. So thank you all very much for your support. The end of the season has been crazy. We're going to chase down 57 by the end of the season. I think we're asking for a lot, but we are 800 away with 3 videos and 1 stream to go after this. So if anyone wants to help me hit 57k, if you're already subscribed. If you're not subscribed, subscribe as well. Why is no one talking about Gundogan? I think quite a lot of people are. I spoke about him in my video earlier this week. I quite like him. He might also have a chance of playing both in the double. Again, he'll start against Chelsea. Will he start both of the other 2? I don't think so. So I like Gundogan as well. Gundogan versus Mahrez is quite close and it could easily swing. Gundogan does get into those centre forward positions as well. I was frantically trying to get to the the mute buttons. You didn't have to hear me sneeze. I tried to hide my camera as well, but that's going to be clipped. That's so funny. Just seen it come up on my replay. Focus on sorting. Bless you, thank you. Focus on sorting your Kepa right instead of outfield. You could just chance it with Kepa. You could just chance it. I don't think it's impossible that he comes back in. John Stones, again, do we think he's going to start both? That's my concern. That's my concern. Well muted, not going to lie. It was like I sneezed and clicked the button and I didn't know if I'd actually hit the button. But I did get it. Again, like the thing is with Manchester City, you're guessing if you think your player's going to play both games. What percent do I think Rashford plays today? 25? Still nothing on Rashford. The issue is they're 3 o'clock. So how would I make my free hit, which is... I was gone. This, more differential. I mean, it depends how differential you want to go. You could sell Salah and go and buy Raheem Sterling if you wanted to, but I wouldn't advise it. Matoma predicts on the bench versus Southampton. Should we start Isaac over him? He'll still get minutes off the bench, though. Matoma's also likely to playing up against a inverted right back against Manchester City, so the right back will not be there, and it might be Rico Lewis playing central midfield, and there won't be that right back. He will then get minutes against a tired Southampton defence, so I will not be benching. No part of me will be benching Matoma this week. How would I, like, apart from going with Enciso over McAllister, like, you're not going Rashford, which a lot of people have, like, Mahrez is in there, Alvarez is in there. If you need to go more differential, I then move the captaincy off Haaland as well, put the captaincy on Fernandes. Like, there's a limit to how differential I would go before it becomes crazy. Before it just becomes, like, too much. If I needed to do more than this... Bro, muted on deadline. I'm not muted. If I need to go more differential than this, I struggle to see where I do it. Because double United defence is differential. Estupiñán and Trent aren't, and Salah aren't, right? So those are the places that you'd want. Matoma's also not, but there's not much else you could do apart from Matoma. Unless you don't think he's going to play, and then you sell him. And then, I don't know, like, do you punt on a Mudryk or, like, a Mudieki? Like, you're punting on players that I don't think are good punts. But you could go for, like... Maybe you don't go Alvarez. Maybe you go Gundogan. And then maybe you go Enciso and Evan Ferguson, for example. I need to put in Iverson. Like, I need to put in some of these cheap options just to know I can afford this draft. You can't have him, and then that leaves you... I mean, it leaves you 10 for a... But let's just put in... I don't know why Jacob Ramsey was the first midfielder that came to my mind, but something like that becomes a little bit more differential. So you've got Gundogan, Mahrez. You're covering the City clean sheet a little bit with two midfielders. Haaland is in there, but if you want to go differential, don't captain Haaland, play captain Fernandes. The only three like non-differential players you then have in this free hit are Estupiñán, Salah, and Trent. And I don't want to go against them. If you want to go Salah to Sterling, then I don't know, be my guest, but I don't want to do that. Chasing 40 points, captain Bruno over Haaland. I think, to be honest, I think 14 points is enough that I would still captain Haaland this week. If you captain Bruno and it pays off, you'll overtake him this week. But if you captain Haaland and Haaland is the better one, you could be 7 points behind going into the final week, and then you can go for something different. I think 14 is enough to play it safe this week. Bruno for Salah or Grealish -4. Bruno for Salah or Grealish -4 or Kepa to De Gea. Grealish to Bruno for -4. I would do Grealish for Bruno. Trippier's a 4.3 defender. Yeah, I probably would. You might not even want to buy a 4.3. You might just want to go all the way down to a 3.8. Yeah, so like you're not going to play that 4.3 defender, so you might just want to go all the way down to a 3.8 and or 3. Yeah, I think 3.7 Brandon Williams because he's United. No one will buy him, so 3.8. Thank you, George, very much for the super chat. Before we just go any further, if I mean, why are there ads like that on my YouTube? Anyway, if you are super chatting, there is a join button here which will allow you to go and join as a member. It's much cheaper than a super chat, and you get the benefits for a whole month rather than just one super chat. So you can get base tier, which gets you priority comments. FPL Harry here. I hope you are all doing really well. If you've there we go. Priority comments, and then mid tier you get more help outside of streams, basically. But anyway, Grealish and Isaac to Bruno and Greenwood, or Grealish and Trent to Bruno and Shaw, or just Trippier to Shaw. Grealish and Isaac to Bruno and Greenwood, or Grealish and Trent to Bruno and Shaw. Grealish and Trent to Bruno and Shaw. Would I say yes to Grealish and Trent to Bruno and Shaw for -4? Can you not do Grealish and Isaac to Bruno and Greenwood and then do Trippier to Shaw as well? You're bold, you're captaining Sterling. I mean, good luck. Good luck, good luck. My thoughts on Kane, he's a nice option. But of course he doesn't double, so I wouldn't buy him. I wouldn't buy him. Sell John Stones. I mean, I think he's only going to start one in the double, but we have just over an hour to go until the deadline. Would I start Grealish or Isaac? Grealish or Isaac? I'd start Grealish. Hope he plays both, but I don't think he will. Basically, if you're... Why is that lever like just sat there? Why is it broken? Don't know. The thing is with your Manchester City assets, I think Haaland might play both, but outside of that, even including Edison, I don't think you can predict comfortably that anyone's going to play both. So, thank you all for the super chats. Please, there's going to be, I know you're probably thinking, oh, it's the end of the season, I don't want to join as a member, but there's going to be members only stuff over the summer. There'll be little like snippets of like testing stuff for next season that I'll test on members this summer, like some members only stuff. So, it is worth, well, I don't know. But I appreciate the super chats nonetheless. Got Rashford, Grealish, Salah, Matoma and McAllister in my mind. One needs to go for Bruno. Any thoughts? In your mid, sorry. I'd probably sell Grealish. To 4 Bruno, Wilson to Alvarez or Trips to 3.8. Wilson to Alvarez. Take the punt on it. If you're chasing Wilson to Alvarez, if you're not chasing Trips to 3.8. 59% of you chasing. Isaac to Alvarez, -4 to chase by 11. Kepa and Raya, what to do. Only change a goalkeeper if you can get Steele or De Gea. Garnacho or Eze, I love Garnacho as a punt, but I just don't think it's going to work out. Like, I don't think he gets enough minutes. I don't think we're going to get anything Marcus Rashford, to be honest. I don't think we're going to get anything regarding Rashford. Holding decent 814 rank. Would I play Kepa, Raya and carry transfer or -4 on either Rashford, Kepa to De Gea, Mahrez or Matoma, Kepa to Mahrez, Steele? I'd probably just play Kepa, to be honest. Do a free hit lineup. I did. It depends how differential you want to go. I ended up on something like this for those of you chasing, basically. It's very differential, but I quite like it. It means you've got no Matoma and no McAllister, and you're going Ferguson and then Ciso, and you're playing a 3-4-3. Basically, McAllister might be deeper. Matoma might not start against Southampton, so you're basically hoping that you get the Brighton forwards over the Brighton mids. If you want to go for a Brighton mid, you can, because you can just play a 3-5-2 because you've got Ramsey in there who you don't need. Then you've got Gundogan and Mahrez. You could go Alvarez as well. That's kind of up to you. But I used my 2 Brighton spots up front because I wanted to use it, make it more differential. Double United defence in David De Gea and Luke Shaw. And then a Estupiñán, Trent Alexander-Arnold and Mo Salah. And if you want to go to the next level of differential, you move your captaincy off Erling Haaland and you move it on to Bruno Fernandes. So, yes. What do I think about Diaz? Out of the Manchester City defenders, the most likely to play both. But there's no attacking threat there. So, I think his ceiling this week is 8 points. And I'm a bit like, that just doesn't really feel that worth it. Just checking. We've got an hour to go, seeing if there's anything. Seeing if there's anything else. Anything else going on? Your 30 points is enough. Is 30 points enough to play Haaland captain? 30 points ahead, Haaland captain. 30 points behind, you might want to go elsewhere. But again, it's quite difficult for me to answer just because you're chasing, right? If I was 9k in the world and chasing my mini league rival, for me, 9k in the world will be more important than me chasing my mini league rival. But that's the way I play the game. I play the game for overall rank. I don't play it to win my mini leagues, really. I mean, I am winning them this year, but I don't play FPL to the risk. The gain that I could get of finishing 6k is not worth it falling out of the top 10k, for example. Which is why next week, if I'm 10 points inside the top 1k and 30 points outside the top 100, I'm much more concerned about falling outside the top 1k than gaining the top 100. So it depends what's more important to you. But this is the time, right? We've got 2 weeks left. If you don't care about tumbling down and, having a go at it and it massively backfiring on you, then go for it. Because after the end of the season, if you finish second or third or fourth in your mini league, it doesn't make a difference. And if you finish 50k or 90k, it doesn't make a difference. So you could potentially go up. Of course, it depends on what you can do with your team, but now is the time, right? It was probably, last week was difficult. Wilson was it last week. And I think those chasing a lot went Wilson. So a lot of people's mini leagues have swung because those people chasing went for him. But 80-point lead in your mini league in your first year. Love it. I've never done that on stream before, and I'm not sure I'll do it again. But do you want to know something really exciting? Hang on. Look what I bought. And I don't even know how they work, and I don't want to touch it until I got a confetti cannon. And I mean, I bought them in advance to use in game week 1 next year. But now I'm a little bit like, maybe I'll use one next week in game week 38 on the deadline stream. My girlfriend said she'd already going to kill me if I set one of these off in the house, but it's going to happen at some point. So at some point, I got 2 of them. Question is, I don't know how much is in one of them. Is it going to cover my room and I'm going to spend hours and hours trying to tidy it up? And actually, like, are you going to see any of it on stream, or is it just going to go, like, everywhere in my room and, like, you won't see it? I think I'm going to have to fire it up and then just watch it come back down again. I've never used one. It says, do not use inside. Ah. Okay. Well, maybe I'll have to take the camera outside. It says, switch the green screen off. Oh, the green confettis will disappear. That'll be fun. Do a test one now. No, I'm not doing it now. You'd imagine there's a lot in there. Tweet a picture of my setup. Yeah, I can do. No, I'm not. I'll put it back before I accidentally twist it without meaning to. Undava and CISO, probably in CISO. Give it a test one now. It's going to be like that scene from a scary movie. I'm going to go... So we'll see if we do it next week. But I'm a bit concerned that it says do not use inside. But I'm sure people use them inside, don't they? I'm sure people... Oh God, don't point at my face. It's not a good idea. Maybe I'll have to like go right back. Fire it on camera. Yeah, well, that's the plan. But when, I don't quite know. I was thinking about setting it off. It's when you've got it in your hand, because you twist the bottom bit one way and you twist the top bit the other way. It's just so tempting. It's just so tempting. Yeah, the boom. Watch Lad Baby. He uses them inside all the time. All right. All right. Steal to De Gea for free. No. I would just... If you've got... Harry, honestly, you're 57k now and trying to hold on position of finishing the top 50k at best. With over 11 million players right now in FPL, I can't ask for more, so I won't take hits the last two. Yeah, like 57k, getting inside top 50k. FPL is getting harder and harder. Finishing inside the top 50k is a very, very respectable rank. Maybe if we get Marcus Rashford team news, I'll set a confetti cannon off. No, I won't. But next week, maybe. Maybe. They've also been... Did they expire? Because they've been there a while. I got really excited about it, so I just ordered them. And now they've sat there and I'm going to wait for Game Week 1. Anthony or Mahrez. Anthony will... I'll probably go Mahrez, because I'm not sure Anthony will play all the last three. I think, like, Sancho, if they are, like, top four locked in by the final day, like, Sancho might get a game. Yeah. It is the final hour, as always. Final hour is subscriber. We put it in subscriber. Oh, it's already in subscriber only mode. So you just have to have subscribed to the channel for literally 1 second, but... Which single game week goalkeeper will outscore Edison? Probably quite a lot of them, because he will concede against Chelsea. Who am I kidding? He might concede against Chelsea and then he won't play the second game, so quite a lot of them. If I was buying a goalkeeper this week that wasn't a double game week goalkeeper, I'd buy... I'd probably buy Pickford. Why no De Bruyne in my free hit team? Well, I mean, you could go De Bruyne if you wanted to over Mahrez or Gundogan. If you wanted to go De Bruyne, feel free to. There's got money in the bank, but this is the sort of base of it. I mean, I can take out all the rubbish players just so you can see what it looks like. It looks like this. It looks like this, basically. It's probably what I'd look. If I was free hitting this week and I was chasing, it would look something like this. If I wasn't chasing... Like, it probably wouldn't look that different. But, like, I captain Haaland. I'd probably go for Mitoma or McAllister over one of the forwards. Something like that. You could also go for Matoma and McAllister and just go and get Alvarez. You're chasing first in your league. You're 20 points behind. Should I start Isaac or Solanke, Botman or Rico Henry? I mean, I wouldn't play Rico Henry, so I'd probably play Botman. And I'd play Isaac over Solanke. I know they're the boring ones, but I mean, to be honest, I'd look at selling them. But test one now. Paul, I'm not that easily persuaded. Well, I can be, but I'm not setting one off now. If this was a really like a stream where we were getting really exciting news, then maybe, but no. But no. Still nothing on Rashford. Are any of the Manchester United players big posters on Instagram? I don't think so. I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, Trippier versus Isaac. Let me get the predicted points up. Let's have a look at some of the predicted points for this week. Let me log in. Rate my team. Players. Here we go. It's going to be Trippier top, isn't it? It has Isaac above Wilson because of projected minutes, but it's... Oh, wait. No, this week is Isaac is predicted to score 0.6 more than Wilson, more than Trippier. Interesting. Do I think Ake will start? I mean, we got no update. Like, I'm literally guessing. Pep wasn't asked about team news in this press conference, which is really annoying for those of you with the likes of Ake. But will you keep Rashford if we don't get any news? Yeah, I will. I suppose the only thing comes then, if we don't get any news, is do I start him? Or do I play both Trippier and Isaac against Leicester? Maybe that's something that I need to consider. But, yeah, right now, right now I'm going to keep him if we get no news. Even if we get news that he's not travelled, I probably will keep him. I missed your super chat. I am sorry. Isaac to Greenwood and Olise to Bruno, or Isaac to just Alvarez. I'd probably go the Bruno route. Matoma or Wilson. Gut says Wilson because Brighton rotation. I'd probably play Matoma because even if he plays 1.5 games. Grealish to who? 0.2. Unless you can get Mahrez, or you can get, I don't know, a Manchester United midfielder, but guys, again, like as we get closer to the deadline, please tag me in any news you see rather than just like putting some stuff in the chat. It's Matoma's birthday today. They don't play till tomorrow, that's what I mean. So we can't bring in a new keeper. Currently have Kepa in goal. Do I think I should take a -4 to bring Wilson to Alvarez to replace Isaac? Compensation. Thing is, if you did Alvarez in for Isaac, could you afford a second goalkeeper transfer? A goalkeeper transfer to Steele or De Gea? If not, I'd probably just roll it, to be honest. 9 points off 100k. Rashford tomorrow's for a hit. Like 9 points in 2 game weeks is not a lot at the end of the season. There's big swings on the final day. I wouldn't go crazy this week unless you really want to. Rashford tomorrow's for a hit. I wouldn't do. Thank you all so much for the super chat. Super chat's been crazy this morning. Reminder, for the price of one super chat, you get benefits for a whole month in the membership. Or you have to sign up online, but there is base tier and there is mid tier as well, which gets you more gets you more like a Twitter group chat with all the other tier 2 members, including myself, where we chat FPL all throughout the week. Base tier as well. You might think this is a really strange time to sign up for membership. Completely get it. But during the summer, there will be more members only content. From next season, I'm starting like some members only stuff, which I'm testing out on existing members over the summer. Nothing I already do will be members only. So don't you worry. Deadline streams will not be members only. My normal videos will not be members only. There'll be little like vlog type videos that are released to members, which will be like review of the game week and stuff like that. Like going through the games in maybe a little bit more detail. For anyone who's interested in hearing a little bit more from me, if you already had enough of me, fair play. Isaac or Alvarez? I play Alvarez over Isaac. If you've got Alvarez, I definitely play him. If you've got Alvarez, I would definitely play him. Still nothing. Question is Isaac to Alvarez worth a transfer? If they were at home on the final day, I might consider it more. Hi, Harry, my hero, my king, my lover, my saviour. Enjoy your weekend. Thanks, Curtis. Thoughts on Foden? I'm just not sure he will play both, and I think he's got the least chance, so I definitely would prefer Gundogan and Mahrez. Bruno's fine. Isaac or Trippier? Do I think there's a chance Isaac starts through the middle? I think Wilson will start again, to be honest. So, any Chelsea assets worth? Nope. I know people want to punt on a free hit, but please don't own any Chelsea assets. Please don't own any Chelsea assets. Sam, I went back to your super chat. Isaac and Greenwood, Elise and Bruno. I do the Isaac and I do the Bruno route for a hit. I prefer Bruno to Alvarez for a -4. -4 Kepa to De Gea. Yes, I would do that because it helps you the last day of the season as well. Isaac to Grealish. Grealish to Bruno for a -4. I probably would. It depends. Like if you're not playing Isaac this week, then yes. But if you're having to like play, your sort of replacement for Isaac, then no. If anyone knows what Be Real is, everyone say hello to my Be Real. I'll do it in 30 seconds once the messages come through. Thank you for becoming a mid-tier, Philippe. For a member, please drop me a DM on Twitter and I'll get you added to the group chat. I'll get you added to the group chat. Isaac or Ferguson? Isaac or Ferguson? Ferguson. Oh, I need to clean my camera. Everyone say hello. No, I've got to do... I'm not good at this Be Real stuff. I'm not good at this Be Real stuff. Let's try again. Joseph, thank you for joining as a member. There we go. Thanks, everyone. I think some of you are in it. Simon, I don't think I... Simon... Yeah, -4. Grealish to who for 0.2. Unless you can go Mahrez or Gundogan, that's all I would go with. Kepa to De Gea for -4. Yes, I would do it. Morning, Joseph. How are we doing? Hello, hello, hello. Thank you. Beam, bam, boom. Riot or Kepa? I'd play Kepa. I think there's a chance Kepa comes back in. I think there's a chance Kepa comes back in. Rashford didn't travel with the team. We don't know that. We don't know that. One of my plans, Harry, I think I'm probably going to roll my transfer. It's just whether I play Trippier or I play Isaac. Yeah, it's just which of those two that I decide to play. Good morning, Majed. How are we doing? Salah to Fernandes. I wouldn't do it. I'm not behind any selling of Fernandes. 2 free transfers. Isaac to Alvarez or Kepa to Ramsdale. Can you not do... I wouldn't do Kepa to Ramsdale. I'd just do the Isaac to Alvarez one. I don't think Arsenal will keep a clean sheet this week anyway. Sell Martinelli for a City midfielder, 3.6 million in the bank. Yeah, Mahrez or Gundogan are the 2 that I would buy. Thinking differential, Ederson, Grealish, Isaac out, De Gea, Mahrez, Alvarez in. I mean, it's big. I don't know how many. If that's a -8, it's quite a lot, but I don't dislike the transfers. I quite like them, actually. I quite like all 3 of those. I mean, Isaac to Alvarez, I'm not sure it's worth a -4, actually. But you might need the money to do the others. I'm not even sure you do need the money. You can only get one of De Gea or Fernandes. Not sure which is a higher priority. Your keepers are Kepa and Raya. I don't know who you're selling for Fernandes, but I'd probably prefer Fernandes. No pressure, but they're starting Isaac. I haven't decided yet, to be fair. I might go with Isaac over Trippier. That was my original plan. And then I worry about Isaac's positioning a little bit, so I swapped it round. But I might swap it back. I do prefer the attacker in the game, but Trippier has looked really good. Well, he did look really good in the last game. Is it worth keeping Odegaard? Yes. Any update on Rashford? Nothing yet. Odegaard's a fine pick. Of course, it doesn't double this week, but he's got 2 good games. Do I think United keep a clean sheet? Probably 1 in the double. Probably at home to Chelsea. Probably at home to Chelsea. Is it worth keeping Odegaard? Yeah, I've done that one. It's crazy. There's so many questions. Yeah, I always seem to read the same one again. Grealish to Rashford for a -4. No, because Rashford might not even play today. We don't know if he's travelled. The only thing we have to go on Rashford is that when they were getting off the bus, there's a video, and we think we can hear someone say Rashford, but we can't. We don't know, because the way the video is filmed is from behind them, so we can only see the backs of their heads, and there are players with their hoods up, so we don't know who it is. But we think we hear someone shout Rashford. Now they might have shouted Rashford and it not have been Rashford, but so yeah, basically we don't know. Basically we don't know. One sec, let me just... Right, back to you in the studio. Sorry to spam, Harry. It's okay. Grealish to Bruno and Tony to Alvarez. First in your mini league, I'm forcing to bring in Wilson to protect from behind. No, I like Grealish to Bruno and Tony to Alvarez. I quite like that. I'm unlucky having Tony in the team. But to be honest, given their last 2 are Spurs City, you probably would have sold him anyway. Start Ake, who might not play, or Eze or Wilson. I'd probably play Wilson. I do wonder if... I do wonder if Rashford's not going to play. Whether is Rashford at home to Chelsea as good as some of the others? Dalot to Trent and Salah to Fernandes. I'm not going to tell anyone to do Salah to Fernandes. It might pay off this week, but last week of the season, you'd rather have Salah away at Southampton. I'm not going to recommend it. If you're massively chasing and your rival, for example, has Salah and not Fernandes, then maybe in those situations you might want to, but generally I wouldn't. Trippier over Isaac has still TBC on who I'm going to start out of the 2 of them. Still TBC on who I'm going to start. Maybe I keep it close to my chest and I don't reveal who I'm going to start. Ooh. I just subscribed. Oh. But did not get the pop in music, your chat. The big like pop-ups that you get are only for members. Did it just lag? Did it just lag? The little pop-up in the corner is only if you have certain privacy settings turned on or off. Hi Harry, best Man United defender out of Shaw and De Gea. Sure, but it might depend on the combination of players you have. Thank you, Harry. Best of luck for the top 500. Thank you. Start Rashford at home for the Chelsea at home. Who you ever play at right back, he'll destroy. I mean, probably. Rashford after an injury, tempted to sell. He's fine. It's just illness. Yeah, I'd be keeping Rashford. I'd be keeping Rashford. Honestly, I've got someone coming to look at my Wi-Fi on Monday or Tuesday next week. So, I mean, it's not very helpful for the end of the season, but they'll tell me it's fine and I'll tell them it's not fine. But anyway, ride to David De Gea, start Isaac or Alvarez. Alvarez and David De Gea. But I'm not sure Isaac to Alvarez is worth a transfer. You've got to remember, we've only got 2 or 3 transfers to use left this season, and anything more will be a hit. So 35 minutes to the deadline. Isaac to Alvarez worth a -4 if chasing mini league rival by 11. But then that will go to 15. So definitely don't think it's worth a hit. 11's fine. 11 is easily catchable in 2 weeks, especially when next week is the last day of the season. Especially when next week is the last day of the season. If you're on triple captain, I mean, it's Haaland or Fernandes. It's Fernandes if you're chasing. It's Haaland if you're not, basically. Is this my team 100%? No, Trippier versus Isaac I haven't decided on. Rashford or Grealish to Bruno for a hit or not? I'd do Bruno. Grealish to Bruno for a hit, probably. Grealish to Bruno for a hit, probably. Bench, Stones, or Mitoma? Stones. You have a 44-point gap in your mini league. I mean, I think it's pretty difficult to overcome a 44-point gap unless, for example, he captains Fernandes, who you don't own, and you captain Haaland, and Haaland gets 2 points and Fernandes gets loads. 44 points is a lot in 2 weeks. Where do I think Chelsea can finish next season? It depends who we sign. If we sign a striker, a midfielder, like a holding midfielder, to replace all our aging and injured ones, and a winger. I can't believe I'm saying we need a winger, but all our wingers are rubbish. Then I think we can finish top 6 with no Europe, but I don't want to say any higher than that. Also, would I mind... But then, like, Brighton are only going to get stronger, but then they are in Europe. So, would I -8 to bring McAllister in for Mitoma? No, I wouldn't. Thank you for joining. Redrick103 for joining as a member. Welcome to the channel. Salah to Bruno back next week. Can play Grealish. Salah to Bruno and back is not worth 2 transfers. Transfers are so precious at this time of the season that doing Salah to Fernandes... Salah to Fernandes and Fernandes back again is not something I can get behind. Grealish, let me slow the chat down a little bit. It's going very quickly. Grealish to Mahrez or Isaac to Alvarez. You got 2 free. Grealish to Mahrez probably. I'd rather go without Fernandes regarding Salah. I'd rather take a hit and do a -4 and sell someone else to get Fernandes than do it Salah to Fernandes for free. Morning all. Martinelli to Luis Diaz. It just depends if you think he starts both the last 2. Worth going Rashford to Bruno. if he's a doubt. I mean, if you could do Rashford to Bruno for free, I'm not going to sit here and say no to that. You actually have a similar team. I think quite a lot of people do, to be fair. To be fair, like my team's very template at the moment, and it's not going to change very much between now and the end of the season. It's not going to change much. Hey James, good luck. Appreciate it, FPL Dream. Your rival. So the two options: either Kepa and Grealish to David De Gea and Mahrez, which I quite like. Grealish, Wilson, and Rashford to Mahrez, Bruno, and Alvarez. Probably the goalkeeper route. I know it leaves you without Fernandes, but yeah, because it leaves you without Fernandes, but you get to keep Rashford for the final day. Your mini league has Foden, but no Bruno. Should I just hold since he is chasing 7 points ahead at the moment? He might get Bruno this week, to be fair. But yes, I probably would hold. Mahrez, captain as differential, no. The reason not is because if you're captaining Mahrez as differential, like whenever Haaland plays, Haaland absorbs the Manchester City points, and it's very hard for other Manchester City players to outscore Haaland when they're on the pitch together. So if you're captaining another Manchester City player and you think he's going to outscore Haaland, for me the only way that works is if Haaland doesn't play both of the games and that player plays in the game that Haaland doesn't start. Triple captain Haaland. If you've got chips left to play, please play them this week. Please. Sussex. Right, do I risk playing... Oh, the things are not going round in the corner, are they? There we go. Trippier to Kanji? Definitely not. Definitely not. How on earth have people got chips left? I know. Does Trippier start? Yeah, I think so. I might still start Isaac. Captain Luke Shaw, I wouldn't be doing that. So, how long have we got? Less than half an hour. God, these streams fly by at the end of them. These streams do fly by. Unfortunately, brought in Dallo over Shaw last week. Do I think starting Dallo over Share is a good idea? I'd start Dallo and hope you get lucky, but... in what case would I have captain Bruno? If I was chasing rank like a lot, then maybe I'd captain Bruno. You're chasing 20, captain Bruno. Yeah, maybe. It depends. Like, do you care if you lose your mini league by 40 points? If it's no, then yeah, do it. Sorry, we're back. We're back in the room. Do I start Grealish or buy Mahrez? You already did Botman to Diaz. Do I start Grealish or buy Mahrez? You already did Botman to Diaz. Grealish to Mahrez is only fine if it's free, but I'm not even sure it's worth that. Any early team news? No. No. Who would I triple captain? Sorry, Mr. Freeze. Sorry. Oh, leg is really itchy. Sorry, right. Start Grealish or Rashford? Rashford. Start Grealish or Rashford. My initial instinct was Rashford, but probably Grealish because at least Grealish has a chance. Grealish probably because we don't have anything on Rashford. It kind of depends whether you think Rashford's going to play today, and we have no information on whether he is. I think there's about a 25% chance. Start Stones. Sorry, I froze again. No Rashford news. Start yet. Anyway, start Stones or Grealish. Grealish over Stones. In what case would I have captain Bruno if I was chasing by 20 plus points? Probably. But only if I didn't care about falling. Some of you might care enough that not risking falling further is worth it. That not risking falling further is worth it. Right, Isaac versus Trippier. Right, I'm off my phone. Isaac to Alvarez, pull the trigger, everyone. Do you think? But then he's not going to start on the final day. But I'm keeping 2 transfers for the final day. 2 transfers on the final day is really useful because there will be rotation. There will be players we own that miss out. And having 2 transfers to be able to move things around. Sorry, someone's just tweeted about Rashford. Give me 2 seconds. I don't know if I want to share it. It's tweeted and it's someone who's got team news before, but let me get it up. FPL Heisenberg has got team news in the past. This new news. I did say travel separately. I did tweet it. Sorry, very engaging stream. Sorry. I'm back. Got my full attention or not while I try and find this team news. But it basically means that he might play or he might not. He might play or he might not. Yeah, I'm going to take that off the stream. It basically doesn't help us. It means he might play or he might not. Am I considering Isaac to Alvarez for -4? No, I think 2 free transfers on the final day is more valuable. Sorry to spam. That's right. You're leading a mini league by 3 points. Should I take a -4 for De Gea? If your goalkeepers are Raya and Kepa, then yes, I think a -4 to go to De Gea is worth it because I think it will pay off over the final 2 game weeks. Harry, Gakpo or Isaac to McAllister for a -4? Gakpo or Isaac? Oh, what was the question? Oh, I've lost it. I've lost it. Ask it again. So you still have your triple captain. Haaland, if you're not chasing. If you're chasing massively, then maybe Fernandes and hope you get lucky. But I'd have it on... Leicester have to go at Newcastle. Gaps behind. Isaac over Trips. Well, I've just swapped it. Isaac to Greenwood. Isaac to Greenwood to fund March to Bruno for a -4. Isaac to Greenwood to fund March to Bruno for a -4. Yes, I would. Surely we'll get early team news on the final day. Players like Alvarez are transferable this week. Yeah, but then you only have one transfer next week. And if you go into the last day of the season with one transfer and a player like Alvarez in your starting 11 and he's benched and someone else is benched, you are straight away on a -4. You don't even know Alvarez is going to play both games this week. 2 free transfers on the final day is more valuable than Alvarez in for Isaac this week, I think. Do I think Man United keep a clean sheet? I think they might keep one at home to Chelsea. I think they might concede away at home to Bournemouth. Best midfielder you can buy with 8.5 million as Martinelli is injured. Mahrez or Gundogan, probably. Is Mahrez starting? We don't know. They play tomorrow. I think he has the best chance, probably along with Gundogan, of starting both in the double. Did I just swap Isaac in? I did. Isaac is in. I think I'm going to leave it like this just because I think both teams will score in that game. I think. Isaac to Wilson for a -4. No, I don't think I'd do that. Trippier or Ake. I'd probably play Trippier. Trippier or Botman. Definitely Trippier. Edison to De Gea and Rashford to Mahrez for -4. 24 ahead in your mini league. No, I don't think I would do that. If you're 25 ahead in your mini league, the best thing you can do is play it really boring, in my opinion. Unless those moves block him off, unless he has Mahrez and De Gea, then yes, I'd do it, and not Rashford. But if it's not like a blocking move, then I would just... If it's not a blocking move, then I would just hold off. I would hold off doing it. Do I play Kepa or Raya? Kepa over Raya and hope he plays. Stones or Trent? Definitely Trent. Would I do a -8? Isaac to Alvarez, Rashi to Bruno, and Diaz to Lindelof. No, I don't think I would. No, I don't think it would. Harry, how are you, mate? I'm good, thank you. It's crazy that we've got one stream left this season. We have 1 week left of the FPL season. In 8 days, the FPL season will be drawing to a close. It's crazy. I feel like the season has gone on a long time, but the final part of the season has raced past since about game week. Because there's been like double, single, double. There's been like no planning. It's just been like football during the week. There's Champions League. There's been so much football on. It's raced past, in my opinion. Like, I'm looking forward. So for those of you, and I will get questions about it, Harry, will you upload videos, etc., etc. So when the season ends next Sunday, you will, unless you're a member, you won't hear from me for probably about a month, which will take us to the end of June. And then there'll be like when the game launches, which will probably be about a month and a half after the final game. I'll take a month. In that month, I will like spend time looking at graphics, like upgrading stuff on the channel, thinking about what I'm going to do next year, and all of that good stuff. And then as soon as the game launches, we'll be back with 3 videos a week. And then for the final week or 2 weeks of the season, you will get a video every single day from me. Reminder, I work a full-time job with this, so if that's not worth supporting, make sure you've liked and make sure you subscribe as well, because it's going to be another big season. But yeah, basically I take a month and a half off from actually doing videos, but I spend it doing like graphics and stuff because I spend it doing like graphics and stuff like that, because during the season, when I've got like videos to record, etc., I have no time to upgrade my graphics. You might have noticed I made small changes to the team selection video this week. I had a little bit of spare time, so I did that. But there'll be 3 videos for you this week as well. An extra, well, going back to 3. I know I've done 2 over the past because it's been midweek football, etc., so it's been difficult. But there'll be 3 back for you this week, including a differentials one for the final week of the season. If I was 100k in the world, would I captain Bruno or Haaland? Probably Haaland. I mean, it depends what you're chasing. Another cracking season for me, Harry. Congrats. Thank you, Rory. And thanks for helping out. Moderator now, and just generally supporting the channel as a member. Please answer. Should I bring in Varane, Wan-Bissaka, Dalot, as you can't fund short? I wouldn't buy Dalot. I'd go Lindelof. I think Lindelof is the second most nailed Manchester United defender. Yeah, Lindelof is probably... If you can't afford Shaw, I'd just go straight to Lindelof. Why did I bench Trippier? It's Isaac versus Trippier. And I think, like, Leicester have to go for games. They need points, right? They're going to have to attack, which means I think there'll be goals in this game. Leicester cannot defend. We know they can't defend, which means they're not going to draw this game 0-0, which means they're going to have to score if they want to get anything out of this season and not get relegated. So I think there'll be goals in the game, basically, is where I'm at. Rashford news, nothing. Apparently, Rashford's travelled separately. Apparently, he's travelled separately and they are making a decision on his fitness. Hang on. There's more. There's more. There's more. There's more. I'm coming with some more Rashford news for you. Hold your horses. So, this new page, for anyone who doesn't know Paddy does get Manchester United news, and this is his like football Twitter page that he's setting up. Go and give it a follow. Ooh, go and give it a follow if you haven't already. But he's tweeted it, and it's basically where he's going to start putting more of his like football stuff. I would not sell Marcus Rashford this week. He'll likely start against Chelsea in Gameweek 37, Fulham in Gameweek 38. From what I know, he's not a sell, but he's not a captain option. I can't share much more than this. I mean, that implies that he's probably not going to start today. But I'm guessing on what that implies. I'm going to keep him. I'm not going to play him. And I think I'm going to go in like this. Even if Rashford, say, takes some minutes with Bournemouth, I see a high upside from Mahrez this game and then Rashford. Yeah, but then on the final day of the season, when Mahrez might get benched... when Mahrez might get bent, yeah, useless. It's not that helpful. I mean, a lot of them are like, I feel like quite wishy-washy at the moment. They're like, oh, he might play. Locked in. Ali Izat's watching. He's out there somewhere. Right, we've got 30 minutes left. I'm pretty set to like, unless we get any news, which we might do, and it feels like things are starting to like leak out a little bit. So we might get something, but we'll do some rapid fire questions. Before we do, we're going to try and hit 57,000 subscribers this season. We are 700 away. So if you want to support the channel, there are also 2,800 of you in here and only 600 likes on the stream. So if you haven't liked, please do so. And if you haven't subscribed, please do that as well. Would I do Grealish, Raya and Watkins to Bruno, David De Gea and Greenwood from -8? I mean, I don't like the fact that it's a -8, but I think those transfers pay off. Raya and Rashford for De Gea and Fernandes, 2 free transfers. Yes, probably. Harry, do I get Edison or Pickford or any other goalkeeper? Can't get De Gea or Steele. If you're buying a goalkeeper, I'd probably buy Pickford over Edison, to be honest. But I don't think I'd buy a goalkeeper this week if you can't buy Edison and you can't buy Steele. Any KDB news? Nothing. Man City team news we're not going to get. Their match is not until tomorrow. Transfer out Salah for Fernandes. I wouldn't personally do it. I think Salah over the last 2 game weeks is just as good an option as Fernandes. Please, Lord, Gakpo or Isaac to McAllister for a -4. Gakpo or Isaac to McAllister. But who's the other one? You can't do Isaac to McAllister. I'd probably sell Isaac before Gakpo, but you can't do Isaac to McAllister. I got 1 transfer so I can roll it. Chance of Stones starting games, him or Rashford. I play Rashford over Stones. I don't think he'll play both. Should I do Kepa and Raya to Ortega and De Gea for a -4? I mean, I don't know why you need to do both, can't you? I mean, you might need to free up the money, but I wouldn't go and buy. Ortega. Will Perisic start? We don't know. I'd imagine Spurs are unchanged from last week. Captaining Rashford, I really wouldn't do that. I'm not sure he's going to start today, so personally, I wouldn't do it. My personal opinion is that Marcus Rashford won't start today, but he might make the bench if he's travelled separately. So, start 2, Eze, Buonanotte and Isaac. Buonanotte, you take the gamble on, and probably Isaac. Start De Bruyne or Alvarez, or start both and bench Isaac. I'd start both and bench Isaac. KDB to Bruno would leave me 5 million and Willock injured. KDB to Bruno, I would probably do. Yes, I would do. 5 million, and then you can upgrade Willock with that money, yeah. Potentially Mahrez. That frees up Willock to Mahrez. You can't get Bruno, Isaac to Alvarez, or Trips to Diaz. I wouldn't do Trips to Diaz. I'm not sure I'd do either. I'd roll your transfer there, Chaël, to be honest, unless you need to use it, in which case I'd probably use it on Alvarez. But I'd roll if you can. Chasing, Matoma to Mahrez, Stones to Kiwior, Isaac to Enciso for a -4. Kiwior, if you bench him this week, so I don't think they'll keep a clean sheet. He becomes quite useful on the final day. Wolves at home. Is Alvarez an option? He's a decent option. I just don't think he plays both in the double. So, like, make of that what you want. Make of that what you wish. Grealish to Bruno and Watkins to Greenwood. Grealish to Bruno and Watkins to... Yes, I would do that. Yes, I would. Isaac to Alvarez. Kepa to De Gea, no Bruno. Only if the Isaac to Alvarez money you need to do the other one. If you can do the other one for free, then do it for free. Rashford to Odegaard, no. I'd keep hold of Rashford. My personal opinion, and I am guessing here, is that Rashford won't start today, but he might be in the squad. And then if he's in the squad, he can come on at the end with a little sniffle away at Bournemouth, get himself a goal, or even get himself a point. Or even get himself a point. Am I keeping Rashford? Yes. Any new Tier 2 members, by the way, please drop me a message on Twitter and I'll get you added to the group chat. Do I start Trippier or Isaac? When I heard Trippier was going to be fine, I thought, maybe I play him, but that's really tough. We've got 8 minutes to go until the deadline, and my things have stopped going around again, haven't they? And my chat has also stopped. Good stuff. triple captain. If you've got triple captain, if you've got bench boost, if you've got free hit, you've got a wild card, get them active for this week. I think is the best time left to play it. Not many of you will. Not many of you will have anything left, but yeah. Ali Izak's watching me. Well, maybe I'll just sneakily go on my phone and change which of them I'm going to start. Wahaha. Six minutes 45 until the deadline. Please answer. Would I do Kane to Undava and Ciso? No, I just keep Kane. Trippier to Diaz for a free transfer? No, I just keep Trippier. Trippier, triple captain Tony active. Well, I hope you've got a good vice captain. Hope your vice captaincy's set on someone reasonable. Trippier downgrade to Shaw. Trippier downgrade to Shaw. Okay, yeah, already have Bruno and Rashford, and I'm starting Alvarez. Yes. Trippier downgrade to Shaw. I definitely, if you can do Trippier to Shaw for free, do it. For a hit, I'd also do it because you want Shaw on the last day. You don't want Trippier. Is Bruno a must-have? If you can get Bruno easily for a -4, I'd probably do it. Chasing Botman to Trent and bench Isaac or roll going into game week 38. Dara, Botman to Trent and bench Isaac or roll. I'd probably roll. The 2 free transfers will be more useful. Eriksen or Sancho for Rashford? Neither. Just keep Rashford. Everyone keep Rashford, I think, and just play him. He might get minutes today. If not, Chelsea at home, Fulham at home. You still want him for those. Goalkeepers are Kepa and Raya. Start Raya or sell for Steele. If you can sell for Steele, sell for Steele. Just found the channel. Why don't people just follow exactly what you're doing and get top 1,000? Because that would be very boring if people just copy every year. But 3,816th, 1,345th, top 1,000. We'll back again next year to do it all over again. Edison, what is going on? Mahrez in for Brighton mid. Rashford or Salah. I wouldn't do any of the above. If you really want to do one, Brighton. Rashford, because he might not play today, but I wouldn't do any. My recommendation is none. Grealish to Mahrez or Gundogan. Start Pickford or Kepa. I'd start Kepa over Pickford. Grealish to Mahrez I would do only for free. Like, I think it'd easily backfire, but I understand why people want to do it. Edison in for Kepa Raya. No, I wouldn't be buying Edison. I think he misses a game between now and the end of the season. I wouldn't buy Edison. I wouldn't be buying Edison. Best Man City defender, Diaz probably. Spurs team news, nothing. Top 20k last year, top 120k at the moment. Still, like, the game is getting very hard. The game is getting very hard. Like, anyone, like, a top 100k finish you should be happy with. I know, like, top 10k is what people talk about, but a top 100k finish is what people should be happy with. Right, let me just check my team is ready. We're going with Isaac. We just got to hope that Wilson gets a knock and he doesn't play. So we're gonna lock it in like this: play Rashford or Matoma or Isaac. Play Rashford or Matoma or Isaac. You have to only play one of them. Matoma. Thanks, Harry. Captain Bruno's differential. Yes, like if you need to chase points, Captain Bruno over Haaland if you are chasing. Should I play Kepa or Raya? I'd play Kepa over Raya. One of my transfer plans for 38 will help me know if I should roll. I don't know. We get so much team news in Game Week 38 that having 2 free transfers there is worth it if you can. I'd roll if you have the ability to roll. I could do Isaac to Alvarez, but I don't think I think the extra information on the final day is I'll be looking to get an Arsenal attacker probably. It might even be 2 Arsenal players into my team. Alvarez or Trippier, probably start the doubler. I'd always recommend starting the doubler unless they're a Chelsea defender this week. Kepa is fine because he'll get saves and stuff if he does play, but None of the Chelsea defenders are any good either. Right. Raya to Edison, -4. Please don't buy Edison. I don't think he starts for the remaining 3 games. Should I sell Ake or roll? If you can bench Ake, I just roll it. Isaac to Alvarez with a free. No. I think the extra information is better than Isaac to Alvarez this week, is my opinion on it. Bench Kane or Enciso. I'd play the double game week player. I'd always play the double game week player. Start Neto or Kepa. Kepa. Varane to Trippier for a -4. No. Either way, no. What would I team be for the first game week next season? I don't know what my game week 1 team will be next season until we know the pricing. Play Kilman or Gabriel. Play Kilman or Gabriel. Who do Wolves have? I'd probably play Kilman. Start Wilson or Rashford. Holding Gakpo or Isaac to start. Probably Gakpo. Gabriel or Trippier. Raya or Kepa. Should I play Kepa or Raya? Kepa. Dallo or Shaw? Isaac to Enciso. Yes, I probably would do that. I'll answer that question next in a minute. We have 15 seconds. Hope Alvarez starts. We have 15 seconds to the deadline. To be honest, by the time you're hearing this, the game is probably already closed because of the delay on the stream. So we are going to lock it in there. We are going to stay live for a bit. We've got a few things I want to discuss. So yeah, that is going to be the deadline, I think. Or you can still make some changes, but we're about to be the deadline. Oh, it's 11. You've got an extra couple of seconds there. The deadline has passed. Let me just tweet out my team. That is going to be it. Before you go, we are going to stay live for a little bit, talk about next week, potential transfer plans, potential 1 week punt, all of that. If you are going to head off now, please make sure you like the stream. Please make sure you subscribe to the channel as well. If you have done both of those things and you do want to go, have a fantastic weekend. Have a great second last game week of the season. Massively appreciated. We are 667 subscribers away from our 57,000 subscriber target for the end of the season, which would be crazy. That would mean I've gained 40,000 subscribers this season, which is beyond anything I ever imagined. This time last season, I was worried. How I think next season's going to go. You guys, the support has been, crazy. I appreciate it all so much. More to come next year, next season. More to come, improvements to come. Hope Bruno gets a red card. I love that. After 2 hours of toing and froing, my team has not changed one bit since last week. You and me both. Let me reduce this slow-mo down now that everyone's gone so you guys can get more involved in the chat. 1 week to go. Only 1 week of FPL that we actually have the ability to alter. Only 1 week left. It's crazy. And it's the big one. Game week 38. Everyone all kicking off at the same time. The deadline may crash if we get big team news on someone. If we get Haaland's benched. Imagine, imagine last day of the season, Haaland benched. The whole of Twitter goes crazy. But yes, just Captain Shaw. Yeah, plans on next season, bearing in mind people copying my team. So, I mean, I don't know. I need to have a think about it because obviously it's not something that is good for the game because people copying your team, if you do well, makes it harder for other people. It's also I think it's quite boring for people if they copy my team. I mean, I do put my team out there every week, so it's completely fair if they do see it and decide to copy it. Like, it's on me because I put my team out there every week. I do need to have a think maybe around like game week 1 when I play my wild card as well, like exactly what I'm going to do with it. But yeah, I'll have a think. Next season, we've got some good stuff coming. I'm excited for next season already. Apologies for those of you in the chat asking questions. The deadline has passed. Let's have a look at next week. So, my team next week. Oh, no. Why not make it for members only? It doesn't sit right with me putting my team behind a paywall, if I'm completely honest. That's something that's never going to happen. Either no one will get it or everyone will get it. It won't be pay to see my team. I don't trust my team enough to do that at all. So no, that will never happen. $11K rank, love it. Yeah. Anyway, next week. So this is currently how I'll set up for next week. This is my team for next week, and luckily I'll have 2 free transfers to play with, and a lot of it will come down to team news. I will want an attacker. Like, I won't want to be playing Isaac. I won't massively necessarily want to be playing McAllister either, but yeah, so there are a couple of things, as I spoke about during my stream, but I can plan it out a little bit more in detail for you all now. Those of you who decide to stick around, you are all the best. We are less than 100 likes away from 1,000 though, and there are 1,000 of you in here. I'm sure there's 100 of you that haven't liked the stream. But anyway, where? So, will you do a season review video? I might do. So far, my best FPL season, thanks to you. I appreciate it. So, yeah, next week, if I get news that neither of my goalkeepers start, which we may well do pre-deadline, then I'll have to sell Edison and I'll go Rams. I think I'll go Ramsdale. I think Ramsdale's the best for the final day at home to Wolves. Where else could I go on the final day? Like, Palace at home to Forest, but if Forest need points, then I probably don't want to do that. Pickford. If Everton needs something on the final day, could do that. It's probably Ramsdale or Pickford. I'll punt on Pickford on the final day because Arsenal have been leaking goals. If Poch is coming back next season, you definitely will be back in Chelsea. Yeah, I think we'll be looking better if we do get... Alisson. I probably won't. I'll probably back a home goalkeeper. So that'll be Pickford or It'll be Pickford or Ramsdale, I think. If we get news that they're not playing. And then that allows me 1.1 million in the bank. I could do McAllister up. Could I do McAllister to Trossard? I could do have exact money to do McAllister to Trossard. I also have exact money to do Isaac to Gabriel Jesus. Ramsdale has nothing to play for. It's true, but it's the final home game, and I do think they'll want to put on a big last show for the final day. Iverson, Leicester home to West Ham. How do I become a member? If you go on my channel and you're subscribed, you have to do it on, you can't be on your phone, basically. You have to be on a laptop or something. You go, and there's this join button, and then there are 2 membership tiers. If you join at the top tier member, do drop me a DM on Twitter, and I can get you added to the group chat as well. But that allows me to do Jesus. So that's obviously one option. Maybe I should get the notepad up. Alisson, he might score a header. This is why you stay late for the streams. So, Ederson and Isaac to Jesus and Ramsdale / Pickford is one option. If we get news that I need a goalkeeper. If we get news that we don't need a goalkeeper, so I can keep Ederson or like Kepa. If one of them are going to start, I just play whichever one's going to start. I'm happy with that. I could do Jesus in and then just sell Trippier. I could go Trippier to Kiwior. Isaac plus Trippier to Jesus plus Kiwior. And then the final option is, I can't refresh it. I've got to put them back in, which is really annoying. Last week is fun. Like, last week is punty territory. I hope this week goes well so that I'm in a position where I can take some punts. If this week doesn't go well and the last week's going to be really, like, I just need to, like, not fall too far to fall out of the top 1,000, it'll be a bit boring. So I don't really want that. The other thing I could do is sell McAllister and go and get Trossard. And then sell Jesus and get anyone who's 5.8, basically. Which, like, we might... It might depend on who's got something to play for. Who is there at that price? I can't even see. Can I not go statistics? Oh, that's really annoying. They're all updating on the app. Who has a cheap forward that has a good fixture on the final day? Yeah, McNeil might be popular. Calvert-Lewin's too expensive. How much is Iheanacho? Oh, hello. If Iheanacho is back... Oh, if Iheanacho's back at home to West Ham on the final day... Hello, we could be in with something. I could get Enciso, but away at Villa is a tough fixture. Oh, Iheanacho. Oh, that could be really exciting. I like that quite a lot. Forest, potentially, but I want to punt. If I'm punting, I want to punt on home teams. Like Awoniyi, yeah, maybe, but Palace are pretty good at home, and it may depend on where the results go, because if Forest needs something on the final day, then maybe, yeah. Fulham have got United, but maybe Mitrovic was a point to prove. Like, if I could afford Firmino, I'd go there, right? But I can't. So what was that one? McAllister plus Isaac to Iheanacho and Trossard. Iheanacho at my rank. I know, but it depends what I need. It depends what I need. And did we get an update on Iheanacho? DCL, I don't think I can afford him. He's more expensive. He's set to return from injury. He's returned to training. So Iheanacho is back in training. He is back in training. That would be fun. DCL, yeah, but Calvert-Lewin's a lot. 7-9. Doesn't really work unless I was to take a -4. I think I'd prefer just to go Iheanacho. Home to a West Ham team who are focused on Europe. How long have I been playing FPL? Like 7 years. I can't even show you. You would respect it, not gonna lie. It depends. Like, it depends how this week goes. Because if this week goes badly, then I probably can't afford a punt like Iheanacho. But if this week goes well, then I can afford a punt like Iheanacho. So, yeah. But that is going to be... I mean, we could wait 2 minutes to see if we get any early team news for the... for the Spurs game. What should we talk about between now and then? Anyone got anything they want to talk about? Anything they want to... Anything... Oh, I just stopped. Anything they want to discuss? Any feedback as well that you guys have on the channel? Things you like, things you don't like. I'm always ears. Just because I'm always trying to improve and make sure it's as useful, entertaining, like whatever you want from me. So, yeah. Anyway, Isaac to Alvarez, game week 38. Again, it depends if we know who's going to start. Eze. Yeah, maybe like... I do think I want Arsenal, though. Who do Palace have? Forest at home. But Forest might need something from that game. I don't want to be punting against teams that have something to play for, if that makes sense. Like, I don't want to be punting on teams that don't have anything to play for against teams that do. Like, I wouldn't be punting... Like, West Ham, definitely not going to be punting them if Leicester needs something. I'm probably not going to be punting Spurs either, away at Leeds. Leeds might need something. Although, you could go Kane. You like the goalkeeper rankings. Yeah, we didn't really need it this week. But I am going to put up a bench ranking. Am I going to the Chelsea game this weekend? No, we're away at Man City. Then we're away at United. But I am going to the Newcastle game this weekend. Let my girlfriend pick my combo for game week 38. Absolutely not. No chance. I wonder whether Ali Izzat is watching. For what it's worth, and let me know your opinion on it again before we wrap up. How would you feel? Have more midweek content on FPL history and odd facts. Yeah, like Oscar does. Oscar is the king of that, though. How would you feel if I hid my transfers on the final day? You absolutely hate that I stopped tweeting my transfers as soon as I make them. I mean, I've made most of my transfers on the deadline, but yeah, I don't know, because do that next season. What next season? Talk about the relegation battle. Yeah. This is the thing. It's like talking about the relegation battle, talking about things in FPL is what I'm going to add in. I'm going to do more next season with like my members and stuff. I like seeing your team each week, knowing I'm not here to directly copy as it moves. This is the thing. I'm happy to show my team to 99.9% of people who are not here. Just like, yeah, I mean, I might next week, if I'm taking punts and stuff, that I might just do something different. Of course, I'd like openly press conference stream. I know Holly does it and it's really good. So, but yeah, next season I want to do more of like the general chat, which is what I'm going to do for my members. Some of you asking like they want to see more like statistical stuff. My weekly video that I do Like, I haven't done one in a while because of the way, but like my 5 players to buy one, which will be back next season. Like, this has more data in it, and this will be back next season, and this will be there every week, and this will be back midweek this week as well for Gameweek 38 as well. Yeah, Gameweek 38 is different. Like, I mean, we'll see what Ali Izzat does this week, right? It's more of a balls to the wall kind of week, you know. But I get it. Yeah, no, I agree. Anyway, let me see if there's anything on Spurs. No. Nothing on Spurs, so... Who's that handsome YouTuber you're watching? Or someone else. Man, treat yourself and get yourself YouTube Premium. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Do I need to get YouTube Premium? But maybe. Just cover it on Wildcard like Andy, Let's Talk FPL does. Yeah, I know. Do you watch ads on videos on YouTube? I don't have YouTube Premium, so yeah, I have to watch the ads. I have to watch them. Maybe I should get YouTube Premium. I think YouTube should give YouTube Premium for free. But, no, I'm joking. But yeah. Have I considered downloading a free ad blocker for YouTube? Well, they are stopping that anyway. They are stopping that anyway. Anyway, yeah, YouTube Premium is great. I know, and I actually listen to music on it. And with YouTube Premium, can't you listen to music without YouTube open as well? The deadline is gone. Deadline's 15 minutes ago. With YouTube Premium, you can close YouTube and anyway, yeah, I'm going to wrap up the stream. Thank you all so much for watching YouTube Premium. Yeah, you can download all YouTube vids offline. Yeah, all right. Well, maybe I'll have a look at it. Maybe I should just bite the bullet. Anyway, we are going to wrap it up there. Thank you all so much for watching. Good luck this week. Have a lovely weekend. Enjoy the weather. Yeah, have a cracking one. Let's hope Haaland hauls. Let's hope Rashford plays, but I'm not sure he will. It's a game changer. All right, I'm going to have a look at it. Anyway, thank you all. Good luck. Thank you all for joining. Appreciate it, and I'll be back again very soon. Bye, guys.